Hey everybody, it's Matt Vickers. My arm is still broken, so I gotta keep doing these video responses. We're talking about how does Steinbeck document the American family. How does his narrative strategy compare to the other authors assigned to this week? And so yeah, I was just kind of thinking, Steinbeck documents the American life by presenting us with a wide spectrum of characters, each of which can give us a unique perspective on the events which encircle all of them. So we have all of these, sort of timeless queries: finding yourself, money, the American dream, love, death, dying, and dealing with dying, and I think even nature versus nurture to some extent. We have all of these things that ultimately boil down to comparing good versus evil. And he uses all of these unique characters as different lenses to look at these philosophical issues. The passage, or I guess the chapter that really sticks out to me the most in exemplifying this, is chapter 24, when Samuel, Adam, and Lee are attempting to name the children. Obviously, a very pivotal scene in the book, and each of these characters has a very unique vantage point of the situation happening at that moment, as well as the more emotional and philosophical ideas underneath all of that. So, and throughout the book, we experience everyone's different emotional vantage points as well as their physical vantage points. This differs from other authors that we've read this week, especially Theodore Dreiser's story. Willa Cather has that great line in her piece: "If the novel is a form of imaginative art, it cannot be at the same time a vivid and brilliant form of journalism." And I think we can definitely see I'm not sure how you pronounce that, Dreiser's journalistic background coming through, and he definitely presents more of a sense of naturalism rather than the more philosophical principles, the philosophical approach that Steinbeck takes. Both Frost and Cummings' poetry do touch more on, obviously, the philosophical notion surrounding death, but I think they too differ from Steinbeck as they only offer one perspective. That is not to say I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily, especially with poetry. I think a single perspective can offer, or express a much more concise emotion. Obviously, that's what they're attempting to do with that poetry. That just differs from Steinbeck's. The other difference that Steinbeck has compared to the other authors that we've read is the ability to show us change. We're lucky enough to have a good amount of hindsight by the end of East of Eden, and that allows us to see the ebb and the flow of the characters and how they've changed over time. Um, yeah, which is definitely unique, especially when we compare that to Butcher Rogam's Door. While there is change, it's a much more isolated incident. This is just one moment of the family history. We don't see the whole family from beginning to end. And then, while there, I guess, the poems as well really only capture one concise moment. We don't see anything before. We don't really see anything after. It's just, here's this moment, and that's it. All right. Thanks for watching.